TWN Podcast.
AEW.
Yes.
AEW?
They started with Black Lives Matter. The standard thing that most corporations are doing. That background, that text. Yeah, stuff's going on. And
that would have been slightly more disingenuous. They just said stuff's going on. To be fair, or he would have been more honest if the corporation's not really giving a shit.
Honestly, WWE should have I will say this: WWE should have just kept their mouth shut.
There are several other promotions that should have just kept their mouth shut. They left it to literally the minute too late. We're not going to name names, so we're just going to progress on with the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a big impact if we on this topic. First match,
WXW. What? Sorry, carry on. I broke Joe. Yes.
Yeah.
Get in.
The first match that is worth talking about. Well, is worth talking about. It's just the first match on the show. We're doing this chronologically, off the dome or whatever. Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page go over. What was it? The Super Bad Violence Squad, or was it Super?
I don't know what they're called. Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. The Super. Yeah, Jimmy Havoc and his two housemates. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'd rather Kip's dog was tagging with Jimmy, but.
Who'd brilliant if they just went, oh yeah, we're doing Freebird rule. Here comes the dog's going to tag with Jimmy Havoc this week. I thought this match was pretty good. I don't know why. More than ever this week, I just looked at Jimmy Havoc coming out, and I generally said out loud, I'm really happy for Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's over there. He's in America. He's living with his mate and his fiance, which I imagine is going to get really awkward when they eventually get married. Unless they're literally going to have some sort of 70s sitcom where he's going to live in an apartment above the garage. That could be a reality TV show.
I think maybe that. Yeah, it was AEW getting another show, aren't they? So maybe that's it.
I would. You say with what channel was it that was all over their stuff last week? I can't remember. Anyway,
HBO.
HBO Max, yeah, the streaming service.
Why? Yeah, good match.
It was good. I like Hangman and Kenny Omega are just really, really good. I'm a big fan of theirs. I did get a text from George to hammer home a point that you guys were discussing on the now lost podcast, which is that it is a travesty that Hangman Page's music is not on Spotify. Mainly because I imagine Joe would just have it playing all the time because he literally is the UK's version of Hangman Page. So
that's unfair.
That's unfair. Hangman Page is the American version of Joe.
Yeah, that as well.
I was going to say he's in much better shape. He's much better shape.
No, all I'm saying is I can't wait for the day where Joe disappears to go find himself for a month, and then when we're in a fight with Wrestle Talk, Joe runs the full length of Wembley Stadium to come and clothesline Ollie Davis. It's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's going to be really awkward when I blow up at the halfway line. Was there Mike?
We're all standing there just going, "Come on, Joe! Getting the shit kicked out of here.
Damn it, Joe!
Where's your horse?"
McIver heel turn is going to lead to. I can feel it in my bones.
He's not joining.
Mike, was there a segment after this match?
I feel like there was. I can't remember what it was.
Was it Matt Hardy talking to Private Party, and they're going to form a faction of sorts, the Hardy Party, which sounds like
maybe
that did happen. I'll just litter in random ones I can remember, because full disclosure, we're recording this almost now nearly 12 hours after we all watched it. So I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what happened.
Yeah.
There was a thing with Private Party. Matt Hardy's putting over Private Party. He's going to team with them. He was dressed up as just Matt Hardy, not Damascus, not anyone else. And he then walked past Sammy Guevara, and Sammy just looked at him terrified, and he just went, "Sammy, we are fine," and then walked off, and Sammy Guevara was incredibly confused. I was eventually waiting for then Damascus to appear like 5 minutes later, and I don't know, pushed Sammy into a well that had miraculously appeared somewhere in Daly's place. But that was all we got from that, so I feel like Matt Hardy's just going to continually torment Sammy Guevara from now until time in the title.
I think Damascus is the one that's got a huge problem with Sammy Guevara, so whenever he pops up, it's going to end badly for him.
I just wanted to constantly pop up in a golf cart. That's the only way I ever want to see Damascus appear. Just in a golf cart driven by Kenny Omega at all times.
Right.
Just whenever Sammy's left in like a bit of space.
he's just like parked up and gone back to his own apartment in Florida, turned around, and Kenny and Damascus are just there. Just going for him. Biting his teeth.
Speaking of vehicular manslaughter, Brian Cage beat a jobber. Anyone who got
beat is the operative word.
Yeah, he did. He whooped his ass. And then Taz cut a promo. That was okay.
Like, Taz cutting a promo.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think
I mentioned all educational stuff about it being a callback to the way he debuted ECW, but like I don't need to say that with you two here. You guys already know.
Yeah, like it's all. This is all just. They're just gonna have Taz drop it. Oh no, Cage dropping people on their head until he eventually faces. Cage. Thing is though, one thing I would think is you would think Brian Cage, because he's now he's with Taz, should go back to, in Lucha Underground he'd wear the singlet.
Yeah.
I would think he might change to that. They did reveal that Fyter Fest is going to be 2 days on TNT, so they've learnt their lesson from Double or Nothing.
What?
Would
Do you realise that Double or Nothing is probably going to do more pay-per-view buys than any of their other shows?
Yes, in hindsight, I was incorrect about that, but I still maintain that during this time, if you're doing pay-per-views, it's a bit of a hard sell to sell it. But then again, Mike is going to beat me over the head with the UFC stuff, like he did last time I said this was the wrong thing. UFC did very well.
I've got a couple of things that Matty has said in the past that I just constantly remind him of as well. Don't worry about it, Mike.
Yeah. Are we going to bring? Are you going to bring up Mario Gomez, or are we leaving it there?
The belly too.
Oh yeah, as well. Yeah. Joe constantly holds over my head several football predictions that I made in a previous life. One of them being saying that Mario Gomez, after what World Cup? Was it 2010?
Yeah.
2010 World Cup. Mike's never heard this before, so I guarantee it's gonna get a laugh because how wrong I was. I turned around to everyone with my full chest and said that Mario Gomez was worth £80 million after the World Cup because of his performance.
Well, I maybe if you did that in this market, like last summer, I could get it, but not in 2010.
Yeah. And then
was it after the Euro 2012? Euro 2012.
I can't remember. It was around that time. It's around the time the Mario Gomez button came out on the internet, which is a staple.
And the other, it's a tweet that I've got that is favorited. It is just he going. Mr. Dembele is not going to Spurs. He'll never go there. Just stop talking about it, FFS.
Yeah, and then he did, and became one of their better players, and they never used him properly.
Honestly, I'd argue that he's the best player.
He would have been if you used him properly. Anyway, this is not the column. So can we talk about AEW, please?
Fine. Moxley comes out to call Taz's bluff. The one thing that I took away from this promo is, Jesus Christ, you forget how tall John Moxley is.
Yeah, he's a rangy motherfucker, isn't
he? Like, he stood face to face with Brian Cage, and I was like, the same height. That's fun.
Yeah, that kind of does negate. They need to work on the camera work with that, because it does negate the fact that Brian Cage is meant to be this monster against Moxley. So.
It looks like a monster against most modern wrestlers, though, so it's okay.
Well, you look at him and you look at Samoa Joe. The numbers don't lie. Anyway. Don't know where that came
Was
from.
was there another segment after this?
They had an interview with Darby Allin at some point, where Darby Allin wasn't cleared, and he started talking about stuff.
No, he only said the line. He said, "Life is but a joke, but I will have the last laugh on Brian Cage."
Yeah, so we're going to get a match between Darby and Brian Cage where Darby's going to... I think I spoke about this before. It might have been when I might have covered last time for that, and there was a match between... No, it was when we did the review of Double or Nothing, and I spoke about how I've seen Darby Allin and Brian Cage wrestle before and Evolve, and it had the best finish ever, which was Brian Cage throwing Darby Allin from the ring to a stage legitimately 10 feet away, and Darby Allin lost by count out because he couldn't make it through all the chairs in time. It's
brilliant.
It's such a great... But obviously, they could do that, technically, because there's empty seats and stuff for that match. But yeah, I can't wait for Darby Allin to get yeeted about by Brian Cage, because he's literally insane. And Brian Cage is very much a yeetable wrestler.
Brian Cage is 100% a yeetable wrestler.
Yes.
Match. Chris Jericho beats Colt Cabana via pinfall with the Judas effect. Any comments on this match whatsoever? It just happened.
I thought it was a good match, though. I liked it. Anyone else?
Yeah, no, I agree. I enjoyed it. Both guys work really well together. It was good to see Cabana have a top level match. I feel like he hasn't really had a match of that caliber for a number of years, just because of where he's been and where they sort of pushed him down the card.
I also love the spot where Jericho lifted the legs up to bait Colt into the Superman pin, and then he rolled through into the walls of Jericho. It looked it looked like he like ballsed up, but then I realized he was doing it as a bait to lure him in. I was like, that's why Jericho's really good. Just don't tweet. Wrestlers, stop tweeting. Yeah, but
if you get dropped on your head for a living, probably don't talk.
Yeah. And they had that, and then obviously you had Jericho call out Tyson, but then he demanded the baddest man on the planet several times, and the real baddest he got him because the real baddest man on the planet turned up in Orange Cassidy, and good Lord Almighty, please, in the name of all that's holy, can we get Jericho versus Orange Cassidy at Fyter Fest?
No, because I think we're getting Tyson versus Jericho.
No, they'll save that. That's not going to happen at Fyter Fest.
No, I've got my idea for that.
Yeah, they're gonna save. Okay. They're saving Tyson. Like we're gonna get Cassidy and Jericho.
They're doing it on pay-per-view, aren't they?
Yeah, and also, sorry to distract because I just realised that I have two 1PW DVDs instead of the one I thought I had. That generally just completely threw me off what I was talking about.
Okay, you and your 2 PW.
And no, they're gonna for me, and again, it's obvious booking, but it's the booking that needs to be done. Cassidy's gonna beat Jericho at Fyter Fest if the match happened, because like Mike Tyson's gonna be on the ramp and distract him. He'll try and rip his shirt off again and fail.
So, big baller brand indeed. Was there?
Oh my god, I've not thought about that in ages. Beat his ass. Beat his ass. I've taken the word out that made that funny, but you know the reference.
His ass, nigga.
Oh, I forgot how funny that was. And the walk that he did down the ramp, where just like a bushwhacker that shat himself.
The same energy. Mike Tyson ripping his shirt off in that moment, and LeVar Ball for that entire segment.
Can we have that as a boxing match? Mike Tyson versus Is LeVar Ball even a thing anymore?
Oh yeah, because all of his sons are in basketball.
Are they all playing for the Lakers now?
Not all of them for the Lakers, but I think yeah, but not all. They don't all play for the same team.
Oh, okay. Other segments that happened. Oh, Colt after this match, he got another recruiting pitch from the Dark Order. Mr. Brody Lee coming to have a chat with him, saying losing could be a learning experience. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And he said, like, well, of course I'm not taking it, but then started looking at it. So maybe they're teasing Colt joining the Dark Order, which would be interesting.
That'd be fun.
That'd
be fun.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just going to have Colt be someone to take on Brody Lee at Fyter Fest. Don't know, but it was a decent enough promo.
Fine. Nyla Rose and Big Swole. This was the match that I was looking forward to the most on Impact. AEW. And I've just got Impact on the mind right now, and you two know why. Yeah, this delivered, in my opinion. You guys might have a different opinion. Please share your opinion.
Like, I don't know. I fucking love Big Swole. She's so good. So good. And Nyla Rose. These guys fit really, really well. And it was believable that someone the size of Big Swole was taking Nyla Rose down, because they were putting over that she might be small, but she might be small. Not she is small, but she might be small. But she hits really, really hard. And that was the thing of the match. It was the large monster against the small hard hitter. And they made it believable on both counts. And also, I don't know about you, Mike, I'll ask you this. Like, Nyla Rose winning was the right choice, because I think she needed a win after losing the belt to kind of show that she's still a big deal in that women's division.
Yeah, she kind of needed a little bit of that rehab, I kind of find, because I think she did sort of decline a little bit going into that match with Hikaru Shida at Double or Nothing. But like, I think saying about the match, Big Swole very much was she had a very tactical fight, and really broke her down, and that's what made it believable for me.
Yeah. And the finish from out of nowhere was good as well. The spine buster, like they called it a spine buster into a power bomb, but it was basically she did like the beast bomb out of nowhere. I imagine she was meant to try and get her up, but I'd rather you modify the move than like fuck it up and then redo it again. So it looked believable. Oh, you know what we haven't spoken about? Speaking of segments,
while the segment after this one,
is it the Britt Baker training montage?
yeah, we may as well just talk about it all together.
Oh,
yeah, if you want to talk about Britt, yeah, you can lead off on that.
So we had Swole cutting a promo post match, and then Britt was just chatting shit in her Rolls Royce, which was just a pickup truck with a wheelchair in.
It's just like, she's a role model in a Rolls Royce. If she has two more roll puns, then her music should probably be done by Limp Bizkit.
Oh, I had a much better reference for that. I was going to like, if she has two more roll puns, then she's going to have her Mosset, her entrance done by Roll Deep.
Well, no, the only person that should be doing her entrance music is Chip Skylark. Up to you if you get it.
Chip I know the name, but I'll have to think. Oh yeah, no, Shiny Chief. I get it now. Fairly Odd Parents. It took me. I was like, "Are you doing the thing?" Yeah, no, you're right. And then the best bit about this bit is Britt Baker telling, I don't know what they're calling her name in the show, but Rebel. They had her like pull up in the pull the Rolls Royce up to the barrier to have to keep having a go at Big Swole, and then immediately Big Swole bowed up. She's like, reverse, and then just reverses back to where she was. But let's talk about the training montage. This made genuinely one of the funniest vignettes I've seen done in wrestling this year, purely for encouraging Tony Schiavone.
Yes. Don't know where it came from, but just up out of nowhere.
I think we all need it.
Genuinely, her being a...
Genuinely, I was going to say, Joe, if you're ever feeling down, if you're having a rough time of it, please text me, because what I'm going to do is just send you the gif of Tony Schiavone encouraging over and over and over again to give you that pep in your step every day.
I feel that, and it's 100 something that I want. I will do that. Next time I'm feeling down, I will not reach for a bottle of alcohol. I'll reach for my phone and message.
And also, so much so that Joe is so emotional that his camera has disappeared. So I'm gonna carry on regardless, because you just need to click camera again and it'll reappear. So I hope in the visual podcast that you've just put. Can you just put encouraging Tony Schiavone? on top of
Yeah.
I will very much try.
I will
There
send
will
you.
at least be a skill there.
I will send you the GIF, and if you could put it there, it would be tremendously helpful. But yeah, no, that whole thing of her just doing all of her training to rehab her knee, but in her wheelchair, so it has little to no effect on what she's actually doing.
I love the fact that she just turns around at the end and is proper like just thumb up to the camera as well.
Muscle. The bicep pose was just gold. Absolutely killed me. Brilliant. And then what else did we have? Main event, I imagine it was, Joe, or encouraging Tony Schiavone, as everyone can see on screen right now.
We lost him.
I think.
I'm here.
I think he's here.
Oh yeah. So we just got the main event to talk. Basically, my battery is about to run out, so I've had to move to my room. Switch off the camera while I move to my room. I'm here, obviously. It's shit.
Right. So you know what? Me and Mike will carry the load. We'll run this down while Tony Schiavone looks on. I'm leaving all of this in, by the way. It's late. I can't be bothered to edit it out. So then we had Cody and Jungle Boy in the TNT title match, which was pretty good.
It was amazing.
It was a really, really good match. Completely unnecessary for Cody to blade. It does a really good point of in a pandemic, why are you bleeding everywhere? But
was it dumb, monumentally dumb, or he just wanted to look like his daddy?
I'm gonna say all of the above, Maggle. Yeah, it was a good match. It put Jungle Boy over something massive, and they still seem to be playing into the MJF Jungle Boy story. So it gets big thumbs up from me. Yeah, no, it was a really, really good. And next week they've got. We'll talk about that actually. Yeah, we got Mark Quinn. We'll talk about that at the end of the pod. We also got the interview with the FTR, where they just spoke about
that. I love this.
Yeah, they spoke about all the tag teams they like, and they admitted that FTR could stand for anything. The highlight of which, I hope Joe is here, is Tony turning around going, "Sorry guys, I thought that FTR stood for fuck the revival." He actually asked them, which was the best thing. And they're like, "No, it's fine." And then Butcher and Blade ran down some stairs.
Butcher and the Blade
without the bunny, because apparently now she's just chirping QT Marshall.
Oh, like that's gonna end so badly. She's gonna go. No, she's gonna go back.
Yeah.
To go back, the thing I loved about the Tony Schiavone bit is the way they bleeped it. They didn't bleep it as one thing. They bleeped the fuck, and then bleeped the revival.
So it just bleep the bleep.
Yeah, exactly.
They should do a caption competition. What do you think Tony is saying right here? Bleep the bleep.
I'm going to do that.
Fuck the
That'll
people.
be out.
Can you? Or when I say, if you do that, can you please edit it so you have it cover over with Iron Sheik saying "fuck the B, Brian Blair"?
Give it a try.
Oh, brilliant.